talk about them. I have a roundup of all of my favorites from the last month. I am filming this a little bit early, but I still feel completely secure saying that these are my favorites. A new one might jump in, but we'll just have to save that for next month's favorites. So I have a mixture of beauty as well as a few random lifestyle favorites in here. So I thought I would go ahead and start off with beauty products first. I do kind of walk you through everything that I have on my face. So starting off, two skincare items, and both happen to be for the eyes. We have the Mercier Illuminating Eye Cream. I'm pretty sure this one isn't available on Sephora, but it is still available on the Mercier website and perhaps Nordstrom. I'll be sure to link all the products down below as always. Now, if you're looking for some sort of like life-changing, ultra hydrating, wrinkle-reducing eye cream, this isn't it. It is moisturizing, but the main reason that I love it is that it really helps to just make my eyes look more awake and kind of distract you from the dark circles on my under eyes. As you can see, it kind of has this like pearly opalescent tint, not even tint, but just like reflective lighting quality to it, to where it just instantly brightens up my under eye circles. Obviously it is moisturizing, but I definitely do have other more hydrating eye creams in my collection. But for the daytime, this has been my go-to. It feels great. But on days when my eyes are just looking awful, go in with this next product from Replenix. I'm pretty sure I have mentioned this in a monthly favorites before. If not a monthly favorites, then for sure over on Instagram stories. Either way, it deserves another spotlight. So I've tried a few lines from the brand Replenix, whether it's like their anti-aging, hydrating. This is from the discoloration line, but this is definitely their most noteworthy product in my opinion. It's their Tinted Brightening Eye Cream. So as you can see, it has one of those like cooling metal tips on it, but the actual cream itself has one of those salmon tints to it. So it's just an amazing under eye corrector. I don't know why I applied it to both eyes immediately. I really wish I would have done one eye and the other, but it's an immediate difference, especially during allergy season whenever I'm really just rubbing my eyes and they look awful in the morning. This is just a must-have for me. I know several weeks ago over on IG stories, I was saying how there wasn't much of a difference between this palette and the Too Faced Natural Nudes. Like there is a difference in tone, but a lot of the shades looked similar in the pan, but I will say they do look different on the eyes. I've been using this all month long. I know, before I was like, I don't really get it. It's not that special. I still hate the scent. There's just, it has died down since when I first received it, but it has a little bit of that like coconut creamy SPF smell. I don't get why eyeshadows need to be scented, but I've been loving this palette. I will say these three shades here are so light to where they're just okay to me. The metallics I still love, but as for the three mattes, like these first three, they're just so-so, but then everything after that I love. Specifically Golden Hour and Chai Times. I love those shades so much. But my all-time favorite shimmer in here is the shade Surfboard. It's just this gorgeous like pinky lilac shift golden sheen sort of shade. It is so beautiful. It's the perfect like topper shade or just naked shade on your lid. But today I actually layered it over another favorite eye product. I did an entire video of products that I purchased from Shop Miss A. This is from the AOA Studio line. It's the Metallic Buttercream Gel Liner and Shadow. I use it specifically as a cream shadow. This one is in the shade Love Story. I did a full face of all of these products that I'll go ahead and link here. So while Love Story on its own is beautiful, incredibly long wearing, I still like to go in with a little bit of Surfboard on top because Love Story on its own is definitely way more of like a cool reflective silver sheen, but if you just add a little bit of Surfboard, it warms it down slightly, but it still just has this amazing like rosy lavender lilac slash like slightly silvery rose gold. I know that was so many shades, but all those colors just fuse together, and whenever it hits the light you just see a different sheen. The combo is stunning. I do want to go back to Shop Miss A and grab a few more of these just because for $1 or $1.25 I was so impressed by the quality of these. You just really want to make sure that you squeeze them tight because they can dry out. These are the KVD Tattoo Pencil Liners. They're just long wear gel eyeliners. They are retractable pencils. They sent over a few of the shades, but the two that I've been using the most are Pyro Lucite Brown and Trooper Black. These do not budge. If you have really watery eyes, this is a formula worth checking out. I still love the Too Faced, I think these were called the Killer Liners. Those are still amazing. I will say these KVD ones are creamier though. For foundation, I have been mixing these two here. Auric Glow Lust, I'm like more than halfway through. I love this stuff so much. I cannot put it down, but I've been mixing it with the Flower Light Illusion Foundation. I have mine in the shade Soft Sand M2. I forgot how pretty this foundation was. I picked it up maybe like at the end of the first week of June, and then I have not been able to put it down since. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't crazy about the concealer in this line. I can't remember what about it I didn't like, but I remember I gave it away right away. I tried it for maybe like 2 or 3 days and I just could not get it to work. Something about it just did not look right on my under eyes, but the foundation is beautiful. The packaging, it's so nice, but these two together, if you love a glowy, dewy foundation, try this combo. If you are curious, I use Auric Glow Lust in Pyrite. I will be having to purchase another bottle soon. BK Beauty recently sent over this Angie Hot and Flashy collection. A few other brushes came in this line, but these are so good. I've been loving the A506 as my under eye like concealer brush. The shape of it is perfect just for really dabbing in. And then these 3 brushes here, if you have hooded eyes, these blending brushes, specifically these 2 smaller ones, are perfect just to really get in there and buff out. We have the A504, A502, and then this larger buffing one is the A503. I'm not quite sure if you can buy these individually or not. If you can, I'll be sure to link them down below, but I'll be sure to link the set as well. It came with this concealer brush, actually several brushes. We have this like flat concealer brush, this sort of paddle fluffy brush, and then I know there was one other, it was like a slanted contour brush. Those were nice, but I do have to say the star of the show are definitely these 4 here. But honestly, I've just been loving BK Beauty brushes as a whole. Another favorite is the 105. Look at this. It's just like a Big Daddy powder buffing brush. It's so soft. I've been using this with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Dim Light. I forgot about this for a while. I'm typically not a huge powder person. Obviously, I like to go in with some sort of like loose setting powder on my under eyes, but on months like now, when it's like really humid, while I still look like looking like glowy, these areas right here, just like my lower jaw, that tends to get splotchy, and I don't want like a super mattifying powder or anything that gives like too much coverage. This, I feel like my skin still peeks through, but it sets it in place while still just giving off a little bit of a glow, but not like a highlighter sort of sheen. I probably could use a deeper shade, but since this is so light and sheer, like that was really swatching it, I feel like it still works even when you have a little bit of a tan going on. It is smoother than the Laura Mercier Candlelight Powder. I still love that, but this does have a silkier finish to it. These Kokie blushes, I believe they're gradient something. Yeah, soft gradient blushes. I think they sent over all the shades, but these are the 3 that I've been playing with the most. The shade that I have on today is called Heartthrob, which is shocking because I typically don't go for just like straight pink blushes, but I've been loving this look during the summer. But out of the 3, this is definitely my favorite. This one is called Tender. If you love orange blushes, this is it. To me, these shades, like specifically down here, these kind of like punchy coral orange shades are so pretty during the summertime. I feel like it kind of gives you that like sunburnt sort of sun-kissed look. If you're looking for an amazing combo from the drugstore though, go in with this, and then this blush is like $5. I think it's $4.98 at Walmart. If you order from the Profusion site, I want to say it's like $6 or $7. This is the Profusion Blush Hour Soft Matte Liquid Blush. I have mine in the shade Mai Tai. I really wanted the shade Paloma as well, which is this sort of color that I was mentioning earlier, that like bright neon coral shade. But the one that was left at my Walmart, you could tell someone had opened it and swatched it. So I was just like, no thanks. I need to go back and check. But it just has this sponge tip, not even fully sponge. It's almost like a fuzzy tip applicator. But this with the Kokie blush on top is so, so beautiful, even on its own. I know it says soft matte, but it doesn't ever really dry down to like a full powder finish. It kind of just looks like a stain once you press it into the skin. It stays wet looking for a little bit, but then eventually it just dries down to like kind of like the way a lip stain looks, but on your cheeks instead. These blushes are amazing and they're only $5. I still haven't tried the Rare Beauty one, but anytime I show these on IG stories, several of you guys always DM me saying that I need to try the ones from, I think it's like Shein or something. Those are either $4 or $6. Haven't tried them yet, but I'm definitely gonna go out and get Paloma. Now for lips, I'm the last person to try these, but oh my gosh, my friend Laura gave this to me. It's one of the Maracuja Juicy Lips from Tarte. She kept the pink shades and she just thought that coconut wasn't like a great shade for her. However, I love it and was so happy to adopt this little guy. But the shine you get from these, Oh, it's so good. It's just like an extra wet, juicy, glossy shine. I will say, since it is so glossy, it's not the longest wearing. It does transfer off like on straws or if you're eating, but I don't care. The color is so good. Also, it is a click product, so whatever you click up is like what you have to use. I can't believe it took me so long to try these. These Torani. You know, anytime you go to like any sort of coffee shop, they typically have these in like hazelnut, brown sugar for your coffees. But I grabbed fruity flavors. These are the sugar-free ones. You can order these on Amazon. You can go on their site and find a store locator. If you have a World Market near you, sign up for their app or their little membership program. You get a 15% off coupon with your first purchase. I believe these were $8.99 in store and then the coupon off. They also sold at pumps in store, but if you don't have World Market, Amazon has all of these available to you as well. But I got coconut and raspberry. I've been adding these into sparkling water and it is so good. If you're just wanting something sweet and bubbly, this is perfect, or you can mix it in with your lemonades. I've been going in with the peach Waterloo sparkling water. Sometimes I add in a packet of the True Lemon, crystallized lemon, or if you want to get like the True Lime, just to add a little bit of tanginess to it, and then a tiny bit of the coconut and raspberry. It is so good and refreshing. All right, next up we have the Libby app. I know I'm late on this, but I think it's because I go back and forth between the physical books where I'm obsessed with thrift books and Better World books, but now I've been going back to my library recently. So Libby is perfect if you've never heard of it before. Basically, it's just an app that syncs with your local library. You just have to type in your library number and then you can read either on your phone, your iPad, or you can send the books over to your Kindle, which has been amazing. Now, I will say a lot of the like current trending titles, a lot of those will have a wait list, but there's still so many other great books that were just released within the last year that are available immediately. So I'm currently reading Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and it's so good so far. I know I've read one of her other books before because that name is so familiar, but I can't think of what the title was. And then a few other books that I read. Actually, I have a list of the books that I've read so far this year, but the two others that I borrowed from the Libby app, the other two that I recently read, The Wife Upstairs, that one wasn't bad. The ending, in my opinion, absolutely sucked though. So then like once I got to the end, I was like, are you kidding me? And then the other book that was just trash, but I felt like I had to finish it, was Not a Happy Family. So Then She Was Gone has definitely been much better than those last two reads. But definitely check out the Libby app, especially if you have a Kindle. I personally don't like reading on my iPad or my phone, but just because of the light, but the Kindle at night is just ideal. I'll just like prop it on my pillow, lay on my side, and just like do. So much easier than having a book and having to like lay there with a lamp on. I know that's so silly, but sometimes I'll fall asleep reading, so then I know I can just like power it down and put it on my nightstand. So the Libby app is where it's at. I'm always taking book recommendations, so leave them down below. Unless you're obsessed with Colleen Hoover, it's not that I dislike her books, but any book that I've read, it's either like super predictable or it's just so overhyped that I go in expecting so much more and then I read it and I'm like, really? That's it? So I'm sure some of y'all are like, you suck, but sorry, it's just how I feel. My key fob, this I got from Amazon. I have a GMC Acadia. I know there were ones to fit several Lexus models. Like there was ones for lots of cars, but there were only so many that had these really cute ones. This came like in navy, in white, and I think black, but I got this kind of like green mint shade. I love, let me take it off my keys really quick. So you do keep your original key fob inside. This is just a nice thick silicone sleeve that goes over it. It is chunky and bulky, but I don't mind it because whenever it's in my purse, I see it right away. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, darn it, should I have gotten the white? But I do really like this one. I'll go ahead and link a few of the other models that I can find down below. And I think that's it now. No, one other thing. Wow, I'm all over the place. Miranda Fry launched their summer collection. This Marlowe chain, this has been out for a while. If you're just looking for a plain everyday layering chain, this one is perfect even on its own. It's just a chain with these flat little circles on it, so the way that it sparkles is so pretty. But then this is a newer chain. This is, I believe it's called their Brinley. This came out with their summer collection with the tusk charm. So I'm sure you will be seeing this layer a ton. And there you have it. My June favorites, I promise. I'm done this time. As always, thank you so much for hanging out today. Let me know what other videos you guys would like to see this week. I hope everyone is having a great summer, and yeah, that's about it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.